Let me say it again. On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler.
Wow. He came out swinging, for sure. He loves it.
And we'll appoint a new SEC chairman who believes America should build the future, not block the future, which is what they're doing. And Kamala Harris wants to make him Treasury Secretary. That's not good. And as president, I will immediately shut down Operation Choke Point 2.0.
So Choke Point makes cryptocurrency development, cryptocurrency adoption very difficult because it's unclear as to what the rules are. And it's what the SEC has been doing is Operation Choke Point, which is regulation by lawsuit. They're trying to go into the courts, go through a 3-year, 5-year process. Some examples of that are XRP. Coinbase has had to deal with it, and they just sue people, right? They don't create clear rules because they're trying to block the industry. He's totally right about that.
They want to choke you. They want to choke you out of business. We're not going to let that happen. And no longer will your government sit by and watch as Bitcoin jobs and businesses flee to other countries because America's laws are too unclear and too tough and too angry and too stiff. We will keep each and every Bitcoin job in the United States of America. That's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, we need those jobs in America. We need to bring those industries to America. A lot of them are in Asian countries, China, Singapore, India. And those are all jobs. Those are all innovations that could happen here, but they don't. And that's very unfortunate, just simply because of regulation, because of the politics of it.
Upon taking office, I will immediately appoint a Bitcoin and crypto presidential advisory council. Would anybody like to be on that particular council? Please.
They should have done that years ago.
Their task will be to design transparent regulatory guidance for the benefit of the entire industry, and they will get it done in 100 days. We will have regulations, but from now on, the rules will be written by people who love your industry, not hate your industry, people that want to make it clear and simple, straightforward and fair, people that want to see your industry thrive, not dive. Next, I will immediately order the Treasury Department and other federal agencies to cease and desist all steps necessary because, there's a thing going on in your industry. They want to move the creation of a central bank digital currency. It's over. Forget it. CBDC. There will never be a CBDC while I'm president of the United States.
I didn't notice this until like the third time I watched it. Those two things that he's looking at, those square looking like iPads, maybe they're not iPads, but they're like big tablets. He's reading a speech, right? His statements are prepared. And there's one on the left, there's one on the right. So he can have some like motion.
And I will always defend the right to self-custody. Self-custody. You're going to have a great industry. You're going to have a great industry, and we're going to be fuel for your industry, not demolish your industry. America will once again be a nation that protects property rights, privacy, freedom of transaction, freedom of association, and freedom of speech. We're going to go back to the old days when we were a nation that was building, not a nation that was eating itself alive from within. As part of our effort to provide regulatory clarity, we will create a framework to enable the safe and responsible expansion of stable coins. Do you know what a stable coin is? Does anybody know? Please raise your hand. allowing us to extend the dominance of the U.S. dollar to new frontiers all around the world. America will be richer, the world will be better, and there will be billions and billions of people brought into crypto economy and storing their savings in Bitcoin. So that's the way it is. That's pretty much the way it is. Those who say that Bitcoin is a threat to the dollar have the story exactly backwards. I believe it is exactly backwards. Bitcoin is not threatening the dollar. The behavior of the current U.S. government is really threatening the dollar. Listen to these numbers. As a result, during my 4 years in office, Bitcoin surged by 3,900%, from $898 the day I took office to $35,900 the day I left. That was the biggest jump, I guess, in just about any industry. Think of that. Now compare that to just after 3.5 years of Biden and Harris, adjusted for inflation, Bitcoin is up 50%. Now 50% sounds good, but not when you're comparing it to almost 4,000%, right? 50%. You know, normally you say, oh, that sounds pretty good. Let's not put that into the speech. No, 50% is not good.
By the standards of cryptocurrency, 50% is not that good. I mean, we have altcoins going up 10x, and 50% is in a stock that would be a big deal, but in crypto, that's a regular day. I mean, it really, the way that it oscillates from top to bottom, the volatility is just, it's the biggest volatility of any industry anywhere is cryptocurrency. So you can't use that metric for cryptocurrency. You just can't.
When people can't afford groceries or rent, they have no savings to store in Bitcoin. This administration caused the biggest inflation in the history of our country, and that's what's happened. Our people are being wiped out. From the very first day we take back the White House, we will replace the Biden-Harris economic stagnation. It's a country buster. The Bitcoiners, and I say to you that you recognize the dangers of inflation long before most others did. You understood inflation, frankly, better than anybody else. You know that, don't you? If only they had listened. They didn't listen to you. They didn't listen to you. The trillions of dollars in ridiculous waste approved by our opponents resulted in the very inflation disaster that Bitcoiners had always predicted. 20, 30, and even 40% of the value of every dollar was wiped out, and wiped out quickly. You understood that, but a lot of other people didn't. The life savings of millions of Americans was rapidly destroyed, but we won't stop there. We will harness American energy.
So Bitcoiners and people with crypto, they really understand the detriment of inflation, because that's one of the main reasons Bitcoin exists, is to deal with a declining currency, which all currencies are in declining right now. They're reaching saturation points ever since they got off the gold standard. Ever since Richard Nixon took them off the gold standard, he wasn't able to put them back on. There's a rumor that he wanted to put back on the gold standard, I heard, but it never got back on. And ever since then, it's just been a ticking time bomb. And that leak in the financial system created room for cryptocurrencies to exist.
In all forms, I have set the ambitious goal that by the end of my term, the United States will be the #1 lowest cost of energy and electricity of any nation on earth. We can make it so inexpensively. Because of what we have under our feet, we can make it so inexpensively. And with low energy costs, America will become the world's undisputed Bitcoin mining powerhouse. You'll be a Bitcoin mining powerhouse. You will not have to move your family to China. You will not be moving to China. As we implement these reforms, Bitcoin and crypto will grow our economy, cement American financial dominance, and strengthen our entire country long into the future. Many Americans do not realize that the United States government is among the largest holders of Bitcoin. Does anyone know that? How about that? The federal government has almost 210,000 Bitcoin, or 1% of the total supply that will ever exist. But for too long, our government has violated the cardinal rule that every Bitcoiner knows by heart. Never sell your Bitcoin, right?
I think a lot of people do feel that way about not selling their Bitcoin. They just tend to hodl. He's referring to hodlers.
That's right, isn't it, huh? That's right. How did I figure that one? Never sell your Bitcoin. And so, as the final part of my plan today, I am announcing that if I am elected, it will be the policy of my administration, United States of America, to keep 100% of all the Bitcoin the U.S. government currently holds or acquires into the future. We'll keep 100%. I hope you do well, please.
That would make the U.S. government want the price of crypto to increase if that happened, right? It puts them as a holder. It puts them in a position to benefit, and I think that would be a good thing.
This will serve in effect as the core of the strategic national Bitcoin stockpile. As you know, most of the Bitcoin currently held by the United States government was obtained through law enforcement action. You know that. They took it from you. Let's take that guy's life. Let's take his family, his house, his Bitcoin. We'll turn it into Bitcoin. It's been taken away from you because that's where we're going now. That's where this country is going. It's a fascist regime. And so as I take steps to transform that vast wealth into a permanent national asset to benefit all Americans, today I repeat my pledge to commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served. It's enough. It's enough. That's where we are as a country. Ultimately, my promise to each and every one of you is this: I will be the pro-innovation and pro-Bitcoin president that America needs and our citizens deserve. This will be one industry, but this will be a thriving industry, a great industry, and I'm going to be doing the same thing for every other industry also. Our nation has never thrived by trying to censor new ideas and shut down the dreams of our people. America always plants our flag on the next frontier and pushes boldly ahead. We have to do that. We haven't been doing that for a long time, especially the last 3.5 years. It's gone the exact opposite. Those of you in this room inherit the legacy of generations of American pioneers and patriots, risk-takers and renegades who settled this continent, built the modern world, and lived on the bleeding edge. You live on a bleeding edge. You do know that, Bitcoiners, don't you?
It's very true. Cryptocurrencies in general it's a new technology. It's a new industry by any measure. Like since 2009, making it like almost 15 years old now. And it's a teenager, but it's so new. And it really is bleeding edge, especially with all the AI innovations, all the AI coins, the reorganization of finances. And cryptocurrency is the tokenization of financial assets and money. So it's bleeding edge, bleeding at a new reorganization of money and wealth and what it is and how it works, infrastructure on how things will move. And he's totally right about that.
You are the modern day Edisons and Wright brothers and Carnegies and Henry Fords, and what you do in your lifetime stands a chance to outlive us all and inspire humanity for generations to come. This will go down as a very important day in the history of your industry. Together you are building America's future with your own smarts, your own grit, and your own skin in the game. You have a lot of skin in the game, and that's what you're doing. It takes courage to do it. Most people don't have that courage. My job will be to set you free and to let you do what Americans do best and what you're going to do better than anybody. Win, win, win. You're going to win, win, win. With energy, passion, and brilliance like we have rarely seen before, our country cannot fail. We're in a failing nation right now, but we're not going to be for long. Our country cannot fail. With your help, we will save our nation, we will restore our republic, and we will make America and Bitcoin bigger, better, stronger, richer, freer, and greater than ever before. Thank you all. Have a good time with your Bitcoin and...
Okay. He makes me laugh because he's just like, he I guess you could say he's confident, but it just makes me laugh sometimes when I look at him. I just burst out laughing. But overall, great conference. He said all the right things. I don't see how anybody who's into crypto doesn't vote for this guy now. I don't know what Kamala Harris's views are. I might make a video on her at some point. But definitely Trump is a pro-Bitcoin president, and that should get him some votes. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe the video. Crypto Andy out.